the normal non-scientist person, not Christian,
okay,
agnostic, atheist, other religion, whatever,
okay,
but who is super into science, and is not a Christian.
Okay.
What do you think of that person?
That they're super into science and that they don't believe in Jesus. Okay. Like, I want them to know Christ.
Like, how do you make a place for that in Christianity? Because Christians don't know how to talk to that person or whatever.
Sure.
And like, what do you do with that?
Okay, so you're talking about, all right. So the question then is, you got someone who's very scientific in their in their studies, and the way that they understand the world, where they approach their worldview is shaped. Okay?
Like, they can't reconcile your religion
with science.
With science.
Yeah. Because I would say, I think, to be honest with you, this is where I would want to say, come and be part of our community for a while.
Okay.
And not just be part of the community in the sense of like coming on Sunday mornings. I don't think that does it enough. I mean, like, or even come have coffee with me once every couple of weeks or once a month. And let's talk about these things so that you have a place where you can share what you're passionate about, what you believe in, and then you can also take the time to understand Christianity from, and if this person's more scientifically bent, they're probably going to want to hear, the logical reasonableness of Christianity. And I think hearing about other scientists who are Christians, that they have been able to reconcile their studies of science or mathematics with faith. And that, so in other words, don't treat them as an individual that doesn't belong in your community or doesn't, I would never want to treat them as someone who doesn't fit in, even if they may not feel like they fit in. I mean, they may not feel like it, right? But they actually have a place there. Like, most people have some, rarely does someone just come into a church community and just fit in right away, because they have these differing thoughts and opinions, and they have these worldviews that many times are different than the Christian worldview,
whether it's scientific or whatever.
Right. Okay. And so it can just be a philosophical difference, right? And so I think that, or a religious difference. And so the point being is, but come have conversations and let's reason together, let's actually talk, and let me hear from you and let me let you hear from me. And I think we can find commonalities. And I think that hopefully we could spur one another to learn more, right? Like, I would want to know, well, what have you been studying? What have you learned? Because I think the thought process would be that I, as a Christian, would be somehow threatened by what they've learned in science. And I'm like, well, teach me what you've learned. Because I guarantee you, what you have learned, that's a scientific, observable fact, I guarantee you that will only enhance my faith.
Are Christians afraid to know stuff?
Sure, but aren't we all? Like,
no.
I think a lot of okay, you may not be. I think a lot of people are, though.
Okay.
Because I think the same can be said on the other side. And I think we've talked about how Christians can be afraid to learn, but I think the other side can be true too.
Oh, afraid to learn.
Where if you're not a Christian, maybe you're afraid to learn about Christianity, about the Christian God.
Okay.
And so I think, in other words, all I'm getting to is, I think we all have a sense of being a little nervous about what we don't know. And we probably need to let those bridges come down a little bit, or those defenses, the defenses come down a little bit, and go, well, how can I learn from this other person? What can I learn from this other person? And I am, and it's not just because I'm a pastor, like, I know that Jesus is real, right? Like I know that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not moving off of that.
That's because you're afraid to learn he's not.
No. But I am open to learn
That he's not.
about other religions. I'm open to learn. I'm just ignoring you. Open to learn about what, about whether it's in the fields of science or philosophy or whatever it may be.